Today, I'm going to be showing you guys my next PSA submission where if some of these cards come back in a PSA 10, they could turn out to be some very, very valuable cards. So let's get into it. So here in front of me, guys, I have 21 cards that are going to be submitted to PSA on the $30 submission level. Now, this is a mix between some of you guys who watch my videos that have asked me to grade some cards and then also some of my personal cards that I'm looking to get graded as well. So we're going to move these to the side and we're going to just jump straight into it. So the first card, let's have a look at the back, which looks pretty decent. I will say that it is a little bit off-centered from top to bottom. As you can see right here, the top is a little bit thicker than the bottom. But it is a Snorlax from Lost Origins. It's the Trainer Gallery version. Now, this is for my good friend Nort. Now, I did tell him that this probably wouldn't get a 10 because of the centering. As you can see, not only on the back, the front is a bit off-centered as well. The top being a lot thicker here than the bottom. But he said it doesn't really matter to him. This is just for a card that he wants to get graded and just add to his collection because he really likes the artwork. And Snorlax is one of his favorite Pokemon. And in my opinion, this is a really cool card. And I'd love to see what it looks like in a PSA slab. I think it'll look really, really nice. And it's definitely one of the top cards in the Trainer Gallery of Lost Origin. So this is his first card. He's actually getting a few cards graded with me. So this is the first one. He said, you know what, let's get it graded, let's send it off and see what it comes back. But next up is a different type of card, which is a Dragon Ball Super card. He, like myself, is a massive Dragon Ball fan. And he actually opened up some packs. I believe this is from the set Assault of the Saiyans. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a while since I've opened up this set. But this is the secret rare from that set. And it is Power of Potara, Vegito, Kefla, and Zamasu. Which looks really, really cool. And the secret rares in Dragon Ball are super, super hard to pack. So this is the back. Now, I will be totally honest. I'm not the most experienced with grading Dragon Ball cards in terms of like knowing what to look out for. But if I was to give a guess, the centering I would say here looks a little bit thicker than this side. But someone told me that doesn't really matter as much as long as the front's okay. Now, the front is always really hard to tell because there's just so much going on. And I love the artwork of this as well. It looks absolutely amazing. But who knows? It'll be interesting to see what this comes back. I would predict maybe, if I was being super harsh, a 9, but I'd definitely hope out for a 10. So we'll have to wait and see what that comes back as. Moving on to his next card that he sent in, and it is the VMAX Charizard from Darkness Ablaze, the first ever Gigantamax or VMAX Charizard, depending on what you like to call it. And this, in my opinion, actually looks really, really good. No like whitening or nicks in the corners or anything in the card. That's on the semi-rigid. The centering looks really, really decent too. And the front looks really good too. I mean, it's a tiny bit thinner on this right side if you can look at this border compared to that one. But I have seen some really, really off-centered PSA 10 cards that just, in my opinion, look like they'd be a PSA 9, but they've become a PSA 10. So in my opinion, this could actually swing to a 10, in my opinion. I mean, after seeing some cards that come back a 10, I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back a 10 myself. So hopefully that comes back a 10. And what's better than 1 than 2? Now, this is another one of his that he's sending off. In my opinion, the centering on this one is a little bit better. It's a little bit more kind of the same sort of width. The back looks really good too. I mean, look, the left and right look pretty much the same. The top and bottom also look pretty much the same. And there's also no like nicks or anything, which is really, really good. Very clean card, an awesome card too. So if you can come back with 2 10s, that'd be really, really cool, because I know he loves Charizard just like myself. All right, let's see what is up next. We're still on Nort's cards. He's sending a few as mentioned. The back of this looks really, really good as well. Yeah, if I was being super critical, maybe this right side is a tiny bit thinner than the left, but not enough for me to go, that is really, really noticeable. Like, I have to kind of look at that very, very hard to see. But it is a Shining Jirachi from Shining Legends, an incredible holiday set that came out a few years ago. And look at that, very, very cool. It reminds me of the Shining Pokemon from the Neo era, which was so, so cool. This is also a really nice card too. So in my opinion, I would definitely say this looks pretty good in terms of centering, and he just loves this card as well. So he thought, you know what, let's get it graded. So we're going to send this off as well. But once again, if I was being super critical, that side looks a tiny bit thinner than this side, but I mean, I don't think it's enough to put it as a 9. But it'll be interesting to see what these all come back as, because I haven't really submitted that many cards in the past. So I'm sort of learning what kind of things to look out for to get a PSA 10, or what differentiates from a PSA 10 to a PSA 9. So up next is a Professor's Elm lecture. This is one of my favorite full art trainers. You have the Gen 2 starters and Professor Elm, and this looks really, really nice. Definitely top 10 trainer cards in my opinion. I think this is so cool. Now the only thing I will say is the centering on this one at the top is very thin compared to the bottom, so I think that may kind of swing it to a 9 over a 10. Hopefully it comes back a 9 minimum. That would be really nice, and I think this is just one that would be awesome to have for the collection. I know Nort really likes it, and he actually packed this during my live stream when we opened up Lost Thunder, which was awesome, so shout out to that. Next card, we have a Japanese card. I think the only Japanese card I'm sending off in this submission. This is also Nort's. Now, I believe this is from Tag Team All-Stars. I could be wrong on the name. It was a really nice set, but you have Misty, and I've forgotten this trainer's name. Let me know in the comment section down below. But Japanese usually grade really well. So there is no nicks on this from the looks of it, which looks really decent. And this, yeah, looks really cool. I think this is worth quite a bit in a PSA 10. A lot of people love the trainers, and these are cards I don't think we managed to get in English. I don't remember seeing this in English. Maybe if I'm wrong, let me know again in the comment section down below. Anyway, still a few cards and Norts. We have a Alt Art Arceus. Now, this is a story to tell you guys. I didn't open this, sorry. I watched Nort open this booster box up in the Cardiff, or at the Cardiff card show, and this was probably one of the best Brilliant Stars, if not the best Brilliant Stars box I've ever seen open. Now, he pulled this Alt Art Arceus, which in my opinion is still one of the coolest Alt Arts Pokemon have done. I just love it. I think it looks amazing. The centering on this is really nice. It's a little bit thicker on the top compared to the bottom, both on the front and back. As you can see, that's a little bit thick right there. But I still think it could get away with squeezing to be a 10. I don't think it's enough of a difference to maybe push to a 9. I think if it does go a 9, it'll be pretty harsh, because other than that, there is no marks on this card whatsoever, no whitening or anything, as you can see in the corners. But yeah, this is a really cool card, and not only did he pull this card, he pulled this card in the same booster box. It was a Charizard Alt Art, or Charizard V Alt Art. He got both of the best Alt Arts you could possibly get in Brilliant Stars in one booster box, which is crazy. So this, in my opinion, also could definitely get a 10. It's literally a tiny bit thicker on the right to the left. Just feel like it might not be enough to put it down to a 9. Once again, no marks on this. Looks really clean. Looks really nice. And also, my favorite Alt Art so far is this card. It is the best. And hopefully this comes back a 10 for him, because if in a 10, that could be quite a lot. It may even, like, we may even get upcharged for that, because it may go over the value, or the dollar value that the $30 submission level we submit on, or I submit on, allows you to do. But anyway, moving on to the next card. Now we have some more cards pulled by you guys, and we have a Holo Ditto from Fossil. Love this card. We pulled this live on a live stream as well. This looks really nice as well. Let's take a look at the back. Very cool. I have a high hope for this one. Obviously with WotC, it's a little bit more difficult because they're old. They've been in packs for a long time, so like anything can happen. The printing back then wasn't as kind of, I guess, consistent, although you can say that even modern probably isn't consistent when we've seen in recent years. But anyway, we're hopefully gonna hope this comes back a 10. The bottom's a little bit thicker, but once again, I don't know if that's enough. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but a cool card nevertheless. And then up next is another amazing card. This is for Vazquez, who also pulled this. We opened up a black and white pack, and we pulled the Full Art Entei EX, which looks absolutely amazing. I'm hoping this comes back a 10 for him. I mean, the right side's a little bit thinner, than the left, but the back, oh, maybe there's a slight ding there. Once again, these are packed fresh, and sometimes they just come with a little mark, but who knows, it may be able to slip through as a 10. If not, this would be great in a 9. Definitely great in a 9. Very low pop of this card as well, which is awesome. All right, next up is an incredible card that we pulled, which is the Full Art Lugia from Lost Thunder. We pulled this for Anton, which is so cool. With Silver Tempest coming up as well, this is going to be awesome. Hopefully, we can get an Alt Art as incredible as this card. But yeah, this is a very nice card. Here's a look at the back. Pretty decent as well. Here's the front, which also looks really good. I'm hoping this comes back a 10 for him. We'll have to wait and see with the return video. Now, moving on to some of my cards. We're going to fly through these. We have a Dragon Ball Super card. This is another secret rare. I actually traded this with one of my mods in the streams and chat. Now, moving on to some of my cards. we have a Dragon Ball Super card. This is a secret rare that I actually traded with Umbreon Hunter, who's a mod on my channel. I traded this, which is a really cool card. I love Dragon Ball as you guys know. So we're definitely getting that one graded. It's a secret rare. Next up is the Alt Art Aerodactyl, which I pulled also at the Cardiff Card Show in another crazy booster box. I got some insane hits in this card. Now, personally, I don't think this is going to get a 10. I think, as mentioning with the centering, when I look at this, it's slightly noticeable. As you can see, the left here is a little bit, well, quite a bit thinner than the right side. So if this gets a 10, I'll be ecstatic, but I kind of have a feeling it's going to be a 9. So other than that, no marks on the back. The centering on the back looks a lot better, to be fair. But yeah, the right is just a little, or the front is just a little bit off, in my opinion. Up next is a Charizard Holo from Arceus, which is one of my favorite sets. There's a really nice swirl right here. I don't know if you can see it as well, but it's really nice, and I just love this card. It looks quite clean on the back as well, so I'm hoping this comes back as a good grade. We'll have to wait and see. Up next, we have a special delivery Charizard card right here. As you know, this got given out as a promo code if you signed up for it for the Pokemon Center, and I managed to get 2, so I'm going to grade these. I'm hoping that they come back a 10. They are really difficult to get in good condition. This one looks a little bit off center, but I've seen a lot of people with like scratches and print lines and stuff like that, which is slightly frustrating. Then up next, we have a Blastoise from Pokemon Go, the Radiant card. Really love these. I actually got 2 that I'm going to send off. This one I don't think is going to get a 10, because if you look at the sides of the centering, the left's a bit thicker than the right. But who knows? Like I mentioned, I've seen some that have slipped through as a 10, and I'm like, how did that get a 10? And then here is another one, which will be interesting to see if that slips through as well. And then we have the Venusaur, which in my opinion was the hardest one to pull out of the 3 Radiants. Actually, the Blastoise was the easiest. This was probably the second easiest. And then finally is the Radiant Charizard from Pokemon Go. Once again, a little bit thinner on the left compared to the right, but other than that, there's no marks. I think this might come back a 9, which will be okay. I'll be happy with a 9. Like I said, these are just from my collection, so I really love this card, and would love to see it in a slab. So that is going to wrap up my PSA submission video, guys. Be sure to comment down below what your favorite card from this was. Like the video, subscribe, and check out some of my previous videos right here, because YouTube says you're going to love them. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.